My name is Rachel Halford. I'm the CEO of the Hepatitis C Trust. We have 12 female prisons across England, and our project is a peer programme.
I'm Jane. I am the female prison peer educator and also the peer lead for the Community Women's Probation Project.
I'm Sheehan and I coordinate the female prison peer programme across the whole female estate. That's 12 prisons nationally. I have lived experience. I've had hepatitis C. I've done a new treatment and I wanted to kind of support people to do it too.
I have experience of prison and experience of Hep C and experience of drug use, which kind of are, I was told, were the three main credentials for the job really. So the project runs from, it's national. Julia and I try to get in the prisons once a month at least, each one. Eastwood Park, which we hadn't been into at all, and now we're getting in there twice a month, where we've got hits coming up. And the hit being, it's like a high intensity test and treat, where we're going to go in and test and treat the whole prison if possible.
With the female prisons, the prevalence is higher, and that's because more women are in prison for drug-related offences.
Prisons offer an amazing window of opportunity to reach and engage some of the hardest to engage people. One of the other things that we've noticed has happened, and whilst it happens for men, it happens more for women, is that the benefit of them taking responsibility for their health, when perhaps they haven't been able to take responsibility for anything in their lives for many, many years, has an amazing knock-on effect. Women generally, women who end up in the criminal justice system, women who end up in prison, the last person they look after is themselves. Quite often they come from violent relationships, mental health issues, and actually their own health is the last thing they look at.
One of the ones that really stands out for me, there was a girl that came to one of our groups at it was at Foston Hall, and she was really young and really vulnerable, and you could tell she had some kind of minor mental health issues, and she was so polite in the group. She kept saying, "Excuse me, can I talk? Can I put my hand up?" Da, da, da. And what she wrote on the bottom of it was, because we asked for feedback, and she wrote, "What I found out was that I am not dirty, that I just put myself at risk." And I just love that, because that's such a huge thing for someone to know that about themselves.
A lot of women have trust issues that are in prison, and they see us as one of them, and they open up more and they trust us.
Literally, as soon as we walk in, as soon as one of them says, "What, have you been in jail?" And we're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh," and that just, it just seems to open up a door straight away. It's sort of like an empowering thing really for me. When I said yes to doing my treatment, I did my treatment in prison, and it felt like I said no to a lot of people and a lot of things that in my life could have been good for me, but I'd always had a like no fuck you kind of thing going on. And when I said yes to that, it was like a kind of it enabled me to breathe.
And I think that we try and promote this sisterhood thing of support. We want the women to feel safe and, and get the support that they might need. And I feel like we do definitely create that within our groups.
People in these situations that are so vulnerable, it's really difficult for them to look so far into the future and envisage a life where they're not using, they've got a job, they're a reliable member of society. That seems like a huge pressure. So if you can just say, well, like, use this time to maybe get your Hep C treated, you don't know what's going to come after that, you know.
It's really hard to put into words what they provide in terms of additional support and benefit. There is nothing like sitting in front of someone or listening to somebody share their experience and knowing that yours is the same, and actually you can identify with it and it's really okay.